Is a long-standing resident of Montrose and has a bit of a different story. Peter's been very helpful to me and to this group to try to get our email problem straightened out, and he finally did it in spite of me, and we're very appreciative for what he's done. As you see, he doesn't have a guide dog, but he's got a white cane. Tell us about it.
Thank you, Ted. And I'm glad to see so many people here this morning. I need to begin by saying I got here with All Points Transit. And I got to tell you, I give them a lot of credit. I've got a long driveway up to my house, and the driver managed to get up it it hadn't been plowed, of course, got me here safely and will get me back safely. All Points Transit is a boon to anybody with physical difficulties, the disabled, generally speaking, and to seniors as well. So I want to give them a lot of credit for this. Now, Larry began about where I'm going to begin. The condition that I have is glaucoma. And, I guess I was 30 when a doctor told me I had glaucoma. And then a few months later, he told me I didn't. So for the next 20 years, I never went to an eye doctor. And then in the early 80s, I went to see if I could get some contacts, and they sent me directly, do not pass go, to an ophthalmologist who said you have serious glaucoma problems. Well, I've been fighting it for 30 years now, and I still can see, I can see above here, I can see to the right of here, and about there, and that's it. I have one eye left. But what I can see reasonably well. A number of years ago, I decided to get one of these things, and I used it at that time just to help prevent face plants. I have enjoyed several of those, and I don't recommend them. But it does keep you from falling over things. Well, at one point my wife heard about somebody who'd been to a Veterans Administration school for blind rehabilitation. So I inquired and signed up for it, and I got to go to blind school, or rather the Southwest Regional Blind Rehabilitation Facility in Tucson, which is an absolutely amazing facility. They fly you down there, they meet you at the airport just as they did Larry. They take you to this facility, you have a fine room and excellent food. They interview you and find out what your dietary interests and requirements are, make sure you get the food you want, and then they put you through a quite rigorous program of training, not just in O&M, orientation and mobility with the cane, but how to get along as a person with low vision. And whether you're total like Larry or whether you're partially sighted like myself, they will teach you how to cook. They teach you, if your computer skills are limited, they teach you how to do that. And indeed, if you don't have a computer, they will provide a computer for you, along with all the necessary software for a vision impaired person. The other interesting thing that they do is they take you into their woodworking shop. And they teach you how to work with a lathe or a table saw or whatever that you may be interested in using. And it's just simply incredible. I was fortunate I was able to make a couple of things down there. Hadn't been in wood shop since high school. And it was just wonderful. They keep you busy over the weekends, taking you out to various interesting locations and feeding you at VFW places that volunteer for this. It's a really excellent program, and anybody who has need for that or knows of anybody who has need for that, talk to me and I'll tell you who to call up in Grand Junction who can give you more information. Being blind in Montrose is an interesting thing. Before I came to Montrose about 12 or 13 years ago, I was living in Germany, working there. I lived there for 12 years, and of course my eyesight was much better then. I stopped driving in the late 80s, middle 80s actually, but in Europe it wasn't really necessary. I was able to travel all over Europe by public transit. So that made my life a lot easier. But in Europe at that time, they didn't have anything comparable to Americans for Disabilities Act. There's a lot of stairs there, and some of them disappear into the sidewalk. And it's really scary at times. I probably should have been using a cane then, or because I had a couple of bad experiences. When we got here to Montrose, it's an entirely different situation. Yes, you have accessibility is required, and that is a great blessing, as I think Larry understands as well. I will say that walking around downtown, if you're in the downtown area where there are genuine sidewalks, that's good. That's good. You get out of, you get into the north and south parts of town. The sidewalks get pretty grim, and you find your cane is telling you lots of interesting things, some of which you didn't want to know. But getting around in town here is really pretty easy if you've got one of these things. Boom, boom. The main thing for people who have disabilities of any kind, of course, is to do the research. Larry was telling about guidedogs.com. There are lots and lots of, there's an industry of dealing with people with disabilities of whatever kind you may think of. I have a $10 watch. Let's see if I can get it to say it again. There are a whole lot of really useful things you can get that will talk to you and tell you what you want to know most of the time. But you have to do the research. If you're a veteran, talk to the Veterans Administration. And the internet is the savior of anybody who has a disability, because it will direct you to places that will provide you with what you need. There are also organizations, of course, around the Western Slope that will assist you that will have seminars and so forth. One of them is an outfit called Insight Low Vision. And you can find them on the web, and they have regular seminars and activities for people with low vision. And of course, as I mentioned at the beginning of my remarks, here in Montrose we have All Points Transit, which will, if you don't have a significant other who will take you wherever you want to go when you want to go, All Points Transit will get you where you need to go. I guess